drink my coffee. Hey, thank you. That's a good girl. Oh, I moved my sign up there. Hello everyone. I am sitting down here on the floor. I have my coffee, and if you've been around my channel, you know that that means that we're gonna have kind of like a chit-chatty, kind of more casual video. My dog might be in my face for the whole time, and today we're gonna talk about why my could you sit down? We're gonna talk about why my first book took so long. Now, spoiler alert, it is not because the work took a long time. It's because of some other things. First of all, I published a book in July of 2020, July 1st, and it's called Level Up Your Teacher Business. It is also up there with my sign. I really need a second copy, so I'm like, hold it. I guess I could go grab it. Let me grab it. So I published Level Up Your Teacher Business this year in July. And this is not my first book. It's the first book that I published, but it is not actually the first book that I wrote. The first book that I wrote is called The Happier Teacher Life, and I wrote it in 2019, so a whole year ago. It was the end of the 2018-2019 school year, and I think it might have been like the last week. And I've always known that I wanted to write books, which is kind of funny because I never envisioned myself as like a writer. Like, I didn't want to major in English or anything like that. But I always said, oh, maybe I'll do history and I'll write books. Oh, maybe I'll do music history and I'll write books. Oh, maybe I'll be a teacher and I'll write books. Like, it was always, I'll do this thing and I'll write books. And so I finally settled obviously on music education. But that thought was always in the back of my mind. So in 2019, I started writing down ideas for books that I might potentially want to write one day. And one of them that I came across was a guidebook for teachers who were stressed out, burnt out, overwhelmed. And to me, it's like, it's this face, and I'm sure you've seen it. It's this face that teachers get. I'm sure other professions have it, but I always see it in teachers when they have been too stressed out, too overworked, too overwhelmed. Like, they're just so tired. It's like they're not even there, and it breaks my heart. And it's one of those, like, when something bad happens and you talk to them about it, it's like it doesn't even register because they're just so, I want to say burnt out, but I don't like that phrasing. I'm just so overwhelmed and just so upset and all of those things. So I started thinking about things that I would say to these teachers, and I had no intention of writing a book because I was like, I've been teaching for hardly any time. And so I just started writing down different ideas. So I would get ideas and I was like, well, I don't want to forget them, so I would just write them down. And before I knew it, I ended up having like a full outline in just like a little composition book. And so I was like, okay, well, I've already got like most of the pillars of what I want to talk about, so let's just see if I can flesh it out a little more. So I fleshed it out a little more, and it was like, I was like, this is a book. This is a book. And so I was like, you know, if I already came up with all these ideas, let me just try to write. And so this was, again, at the very end of the school year. And so I decided I would take the month of June and I would try to write this book. And so every day for, I think it was 16 days. Every day I would sit down for about 2 hours in the morning and I would write about 3,000 words. That was my goal every day. And it just flowed out of me. Now, that's not to say it was easy, because it definitely wasn't easy, but the words were there, just everything came to me. The stories were there. Everything was there, and I just like, it just flowed. It literally, it flowed out of me. It just kept coming and just kept coming. And before I knew it, I had almost the whole book. I was like 75% of the way through, and I was like, I should tell someone about this. So I was in the car with my husband, and I was like, so I kind of wrote a book. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, like I've been spending, you know, like 2 hours a day on it, and so I'm like 75% done. And he was like, well, cool. And you know, the way that I said it was just like really strange and awkward. So he was just like not really sure, you know, who just walks up to their husband and is like, so I wrote a book. I was like, I figured I should tell you before it was like done. So there's that. This is an iced coffee, but it is pumpkin caramel, so I am in the spirit. I read this book and I got to the end and I was like, first of all, I was like, holy crap, I cannot believe I did that. Secondly, I was like, okay, well, I guess now I need to like edit it, right? And that's where it got really bad. So I printed it out, and months went by and months went by And suddenly it was January of 2020 and I had not finished it. I hadn't even edited it once, I don't think. And I got to, you know, writing down like what I wanted to do this year, and I was like, I need to edit this. Like I have the whole thing done. I need to finish it. And I couldn't quite figure out what was holding me back until one day I realized what it was. And it had nothing to do with the work. It had nothing to do with how much I hate editing, which you probably know. I despise editing, but there we are. And it had nothing to do with that. What it had to do with was me being insecure, which I don't like saying on the interwebs, but here we are. So I didn't touch it, and the reason was because if I finished it, then I was gonna want to publish it. But I was having a hard time with that because I kept coming back to, no one's gonna listen to me. You know, I haven't been teaching for 30 years. What do I know? I don't know any, you know, just all I've done is like read books about self-care and practice self-care and things like that. So who am I to write a book on self-care? Like I haven't done research into it. It's just like my observations and things that have worked for me. And just all of these thoughts kept swimming in my mind. You know, no one's gonna take me seriously. Like who's even gonna buy this? And just things like that. And one day, this was a really profound moment, so I feel like I should remember it, but I don't. One day I was, you know, thinking about it, and I was like, Becca, what are you doing? Because this book is not something I set out to write. It wasn't like I sat down one day and was like, all right, I'm gonna write a book because I'm an expert on all the things. No, I was not at all like that. It was like, oh, I have an idea. Oh, I have an idea. Oh, I have an, like it came to me. And I don't know if I'm gonna get a little religious on you. I don't know if you believe in God, but I do. And so I was like, okay, so this message came to me. So I, you know, I feel like that is from God. Like he gave this message to me to share with people. Like the point was not let me write a book so that I can write a book. The point was let me write this book so I can share it with people and it can change their lives and they can do better in the future. And they don't have to have that teacher face and they don't have to be overwhelmed and they don't have to be stressed out. They can be calmer because I have some tools to help them with that. And I just had this moment of like, if this message came to me to give to other people and I'm not doing that, I'm being selfish for, you know, letting all of my insecurities and things like that get in the way of me publishing this book that can help people. The whole point is for it to help people. So if I'm not helping people, like what the heck am I even doing? You know? And so that was kind of the kick that I needed to finally get it edited and then send it to someone to get edited and then edit it again and just get it done. And I still am thinking that, like, I still get problems. I'm still like, oh my gosh, who am I? What do I know? I don't know anything. Like, what the heck? But I keep falling back to that same thing. And maybe you can apply this to your life, that if maybe you don't feel like you're good enough, fall back on the message. So if you're like, you know, I don't know enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not whatever, fall back on, people need this message. People need to hear it. I was given it so that I could give it away, not so I could keep it, because I didn't need it. I didn't need to write the book for me. I need to write the book for other people, and I need to get that message out there. So that's something that you can apply to your life. If you want to start a YouTube channel, or you want to start a blog, or you want an email list like we've been talking about, or if you know, have products that you're making and you're start thinking all those things that I think of, I'm not good enough, who am I, what am I doing, no one's gonna buy it, all of those thoughts, stop and think, okay, is my product good? Is my message good? Do people need to hear this? Because if the answer is yes, then get over your dang self, talking to myself, get over your dang self and just get it out there so that it can do its job. If you're struggling with this, try to look at it like I'm trying to look at it, like I am a vessel. Like I'm just the boat. I'm just delivering the message to the person. I'm, you know, like the bottle with the notes in it. I'm the bottle. I'm not the note. No one cares about me. I'm just the one who's getting the message where it needs to go. So if you are feeling like that, we've been talking a lot on Instagram about all of those like imposter syndrome, kind of insecure feelings that I have been having, and a lot of you have mentioned that you also feel that way. So here is one practical tip for when you feel that way. Fall back on your message. Think about your message. Think about, do people need to hear this? Is this something that is going to change their lives? Because if the answer is yes, then get over yourself and just do it. I need a drink. So I wasn't expecting that to be quite so in your face, but there it is. If you ever have feelings like that, please let me know in the comments that it's not just me, and let me know if you have any tricks for how you get over that. The new book, The Happier Teacher Life, comes out October 1st, which is the day before this video comes out. Okay, I'm looking at my calendar. The day before this video comes out. So if you want to check out the book and see the message that I was given to give to other people, not to keep to myself, then you can check the link down below to purchase on Amazon. And there's also an ebook option if that's more your style. Yeah. I feel like I need to go take a nap after that. Whew. Okay. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Especially if you made it all the way to the end. Check out the link below for the book, and I will see you guys next time. And maybe not be this fired up. But this is my 3rd cup of coffee, so there's that. Bye! So in 2019, I started writing down ideas for books that I might potentially want. Here, lay down. There we go. Okay.